Let's bring in constitutional law expert and law professor at USC, Omar Noureldin, joining us for the first time here on the Special Report. Good to have you with us, Omar. Thank you for being with us. When you see that raid, what are the tea leaves showing when it comes to Jeff Clark? What should we make of that?
Well, I think this is an indication that the Justice Department is ramping up its investigation of the January 6th Capitol insurrection. Up until this point, a lot of the criminal charges have been brought against people who directly attacked the Capitol, who were kind of on the ground. And there had been some tension between the January 6th committee and the Justice Department as to the speed at which the Justice Department was investigating kind of higher level DOJ officials, White House officials, including the former President Trump himself. Committee member and California Congressman Adam Schiff has had some strong words for the Justice Department in terms of them being too cautious. And so I think this was an indication that the Justice Department is going to be ramping up. And it's not, I don't think, a coincidence that it happened today, the same day as these hearings revealed a lot of Jeffrey Clark's role in the attempted vote fraud scheme that the former President Trump and his top lawyers were trying to engage in.
And Alex, I know that you actually spoke to Congressman Schiff himself, and he expressed his surprise. He didn't know anything about this pre-dawn raid that happened, but to Omar's point, this could indicate that the Department of Justice is watching this and will continue to act accordingly. Okay, let's switch gears if we can here and talk more about that ruling that came down from the Supreme Court today. Omar, let's get your take on that. How will that change the similar California law that we have in place here? Will it?
It's one of those kind of law professor answers. It will and it won't. And here's why. Because California has a similar law about the need to show good cause, or in the state of New York, it was proper cause to carry a concealed firearm. But in California, since about 2016, counties by counties have had different approaches to what determines good cause. So in about 37 of California's 58 counties, good cause is interpreted by the county sheriff or police department if you're within an unincorporated city that allows for self-defense to be a good enough cause. So just saying I need it for self-defense is good cause. So for example, Sacramento, which has a Republican sheriff, self-defense is a good enough cause. But in about 21
other words,
other
you don't have to prove that. You can simply say, I can simply say, I'm Marla and I want to defend myself.
Correct. And I won't get into the history behind that, but there was a federal case that challenged Hawaii's similar law back in 2014 and 2016, and the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit initially struck down Hawaii's law, but then in a subsequent ruling upheld the law. And so counties within the Ninth Circuit, which California is included within the Ninth Circuit, have changed some of these laws since then. But 21 counties, including Los Angeles County and San Francisco County, require something more for good cause. So, for example, having to talk about you have some significant immediate danger, a pattern of threats against you because of your profession or something else. So those counties are going to have to deal with this new ruling, and gun activists have said that they're going to issue legal notices to those 21 counties asking them to make their laws comply with this new precedent by the Supreme Court.
So it's a busy time for those people like you that watch the Supreme Court so closely. The gun case was a big case. The biggest case of all, though, is the decision on Roe v. Wade. The court said that they're going to issue decisions tomorrow. They weren't supposed to do that. So we could have a decision as early as tomorrow morning or probably as late as next week. I spoke with California's Attorney General Rob Bonta a little earlier today about how the state is preparing.
No matter what the Dobbs decision is, and we hope for the best, but we unfortunately expect the worst given the draft that was leaked and how the oral argument went.
Will California pay for those women to come here to California and get an abortion here?
The short answer is that there is a bill and a budget request to do just that.
Real quickly, because we're running out of time, what do you expect to see from the court?
I think the court will uphold the Mississippi law that bans abortions after 15 weeks. What's yet to be seen is whether or not it's going to totally overrule Roe. That's what the draft opinion said it was going to do. And unless Chief Justice Roberts can pull out some kind of trick out of his robes, I think that's likely what's going to happen.
Yeah, that would be quite the trick. If you could see it, and everybody would see that it's a trick after seeing that draft opinion as well. Omar, thanks so much for being on. We really appreciate your perspective.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Marla.
And as a USC guy, fight on. Okay.